let's deal this situation with compassion and a lot of self-acceptance that whatever we're feeling at this point in time is all valid, and we don't have to deny that, and we don't have to go into the feeling of guilty or shame or anything of that sort, saying that, oh, but you know what, I don't have COVID, or you know what, I've got a house, I don't, why am I feeling this way, like I shouldn't be feeling this way. So don't get your shoulds and have tos at this point in time. uh, it's an exam which nobody kind of gave a mock preparation for. We just got into it, let's accept it, and we don't have to come first. Let's just get to the point that we don't have to be the first, and we don't have to be overproductive, we don't have to be like literally in the race of being the first and clearing with like 90 or 98%. No, I think it's the time where we accept that we got to just pass this exam, let me put it that way. So keep this perspective in mind, that if there's one thing that I would like you to take from session, is this, that there is a lot more need of compassion and self-acceptance, because only when we have these two things we will be able to offer them to other people. If our cups are empty, I can vouch, whether it'll come out through communication, whether it'll come out through different emotions, but it will come out one or the other way. So accept where you are, what you're doing, how much you're doing, how much you're currently capable of doing, how much of support you're offering to your family members, friends, or community. Just accept it where it is. Accept where you are in terms of how you're feeling, and um, let's not go into over evaluating about, hey, I mean, I look at my friends doing so much more, I'm not able to do that. Fine, you're not able to do it today, but I'm gonna share this model which will somehow help you to add on and get on to the next level, hopefully. But the point remaining the same, that let yourself feel what you're feeling without being judgmental about them, because denying or pretending that you're not feeling is going to make it worse. And I think that's what most of the working professionals especially are going through. And I just said working professionals, but if I see students and other people would fall in the same category. We just don't allow ourselves to say it out loud, that I'm stressed, I'm feeling this, or we go into the judgment that why am I feeling in a certain way, or all those conversations with ourselves. So having said that, the first and the foremost is to acknowledge that when COVID started off, the physical impact was very clear. We all knew it, what it was doing to our bodies, but now it's becoming more apparent what it's doing to us psychologically. And with the surge in amount of cases with regards to depression, suicides, unfortunately, anxiety disorders, and so much more, it's becoming very apparent and very obvious that there is a need to finally understand and accept that we are emotional beings, and without understanding ourselves, our needs, and without acknowledging the fact that we are humans, I don't think we will be able to kind of get through this in a sane manner. Having said that, the screen right in front of you, like I said, at this moment, you could be feeling fear, you could be feeling frustration, angry, disappointment, shame, could be literally anything. The major part of that frustration comes from what's on the extreme left is uncertainty, because we don't know what next. The world is literally so volatile, so ambiguous, so literally so ambiguous that we don't know what's coming next. And our brain is like certainty. It can't hold up uncertainty for long. Certainty is one of the basic human needs that we have, and there are a lot of researches, and you can feel free to Google it. Uh, when we are feeling unpredictable, when we're feeling uncertain, that is more scarier for the brain as compared to, um, let's say, as compared to uncertainty. I mean, as compared to fear. Sorry. So it's high time that we accept what we can't control and we take in charge of what we can control. And I think that's what my next 10 minutes are going to focus at. How do we bring in more certainty and control and power and that feeling of feeling in control? Because a lot of clients that I work with, a lot of sessions that I take ultimately comes down to the fact that we're feeling all over the place. I'm just confused. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what to do. I'm literally lost. I mean, those are the words that I hear quite often from people that I work with, and all over social media. That's quite apparent that we're going through a period that's completely full of uncertainty. So, how do we add certainty? And the reason we're adding certainty, like I said, is our brain feels safe. It's like, so let me give you two examples. If there's a match today, let's say India versus Australia, your brain automatically starts to kind of predict, because it likes to feel like it knows what's coming next. It just makes the brain feel safe, like I know what's coming, I can handle it. Now we know the situation is not like that. So imagine country is getting a new law. The first thing our brain starts to do is, come on, let's start predicting it's going to work, not going to work. We collect more information. We try to bring in more ideas to make sense out of it. And we all are trying to do that. So we all are collecting information left, right, and center to just make sure that we know what's going to happen next. But we all know that there is a huge part in that that's going to remain uncertain. But then how do we bring in certainty so that we learn to tackle our brain and our life a bit better, let's say? Now we come down to how do we manage that part. And one more point before I go into those three aspects. There is a little voice inside you that's going to disturb you throughout this session, that's going to tell you that, you know what, I know this, you know what, that's not going to work, you know what, it's not happening, it's not working, it's not going to work. The job of this little voice / self-talk is to keep you safe, even if it's painful. So it's something that we have, but it's unfortunately something that is not working in our favor. So again, what I just did was I helped you in predicting what's going to happen when I go through this, so that you are more prepared in handling that voice. Coming down to how to add certainty, I would use a big umbrella word, and that's R right there. That's the word for it is routine. Now, don't worry if routine sounds like, oh my God, you're telling us to do so much at this point in time. It's actually going to save you from a lot of hassle rather than adding hassle. So it's a perspective change that needs to happen. And right now, I'm not focusing at scheduling, I'm focusing on routine. And let me tell you the difference between the two. Routine is that you have certain activities that you know are beneficial to you, your mind, your body, your soul, whichever category we're talking about. And you would like to add that proactively to be able to feel safe and functional every day, so that you have some sort of a purpose to do every single day. However, coming back to the first point in terms of mind and emotions, I would like you to ask yourself one question at this point in time, that how am I feeling these days? Okay, just literally ask yourself, how am I feeling these days? It'll give you your reality. Nobody else has to tell your reality. You will know where you're standing in terms of how you're feeling. Then the second question is, how do I want to feel? Now, the moment you ask yourself this question, how do I want to feel? The brain is like, wow, now I'm taking charge of situation rather than being just in the flow of the motion. So, and that is exactly what we're trying to do. We're trying to take that charge. We're trying to create that certainty, just so that we feel we are in control and not anybody else.